I guarantee you, when you see the Pac-12's deal, they're going to be like, well, can we have a easy out, maybe sort of, kind of, please, sorry, please? Guarantee you that's going to happen. What is up, everybody? It is Jake with Master of Football, back at it again. Happy Friday. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to be up to date on all things EA college football, subscribe to this channel right now. I also do some college football, pro football, and Madden videos as well. Please subscribe. Okay, hit that red subscribe button. It's free for you, helps the channel out a lot. Like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. I really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, guys, we have the news recently, and it is, we knew it was going to be big. Okay, we knew it was going to be big, but it's just one of those situations where up until you see the numbers, it doesn't really click for you. Let's see what the Big Ten's latest deal in their contract negotiations came out to be, and oh my God, sit down because there's a lot of zeros. So right here from Dennis Dodd, the Big Ten reaches a 7-year media rights deal with CBS, Fox, and NBC for football, basketball through 2039. Marquee Big Ten football games will be showcased across 3 broadcast windows on Saturdays. I'm telling you, man, it's going to be a big deal. Like I said, the approximate value of the deal is a record $1.2 billion annually. So $1.2 billion per year to be paid out to 14 institutions, and I'm betting that it's going to eventually get to 16 institutions with USC and UCLA joining that conference. It says right here, Fox will air the big noon game on Saturdays, and then CBS at 3:30, and then NBC at the, so they're going to have, so, God, they're doing the NFL now. I'm telling you, they're doing it really, really smart. Kevin Warren is starting to stop thinking of himself as a college football conference. And he's starting to think himself as NFL light and doing the same thing. Again, they had those 3 windows, big noon, they have 3:30, and then the Big Ten Saturday night in prime time. In the same way that the NFL has the 1 o'clock Eastern kickoff, the 4 o'clock Eastern kickoff, and then Sunday Night Football, they're doing the same thing. Again, the Big Ten will be a dominant force from a media standpoint on Saturday, said Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren, who's oversaw the deal only 2.5 years into his tenure. Yeah, but dude, your boy is absolutely on fire. Kevin Warren is going to be getting a fat payday because everybody else is too, though. So Kevin Warren is sitting pretty right now. So remember here that this was the next domino to fall in the conference realignment situation, because once the Big Ten kind of set the market. So remember, when they go to these negotiations here, what happens is all of the presidents sit down at the negotiating table with each other. It's very important to make sure they have the proper members with each other. They sit down and they say, okay, what are you looking for? What do you want? What do you guys have? They kind of go back and forth. We want to do this with our teams. We want to do that with our teams. What do you guys think would do best for you? We want a team in this slot. We want a team in this slot. We want this. We want that. We need this market. We need that team. Things like that. They go kind of back and forth. So the Big Ten, like I said before, they have added USC and UCLA. Well, it looks like strategically. Now remember that, keep that word in mind. There's several reasons why you can expand your conference. USC and UCLA were added to the Big Ten because they add financially to the pot. Now, again, they have great academics. They are, give you that West Coast time slot. And then in addition to, they give you that LA market. Also, they add to the pocket, to their pocketbooks in terms of adding value on a per team basis to this league. So that, like I said, they add financially. The next moves might be more strategic, and you see the fact that they've already kind of built this into the agreement going forward. Check out this very, very particular word that they use in this next article by Brett McMurphy. So right here from Action Sports Network, Big Ten lands historic media rights deal, more expansion ahead, ? From Brett McMurphy. Here we go. The Big Ten, less than 2 months after USC and UCLA has landed the largest media rights agreement in college athletics history. I guarantee you that the Big Ten, they were talking that whole time, and the Big Ten may have been not have let, Fox and NBC and this and that know, hey, by the way, this might be a situation. So they let their partners know that USC and UCLA are probably going to be joining on, and then that was a negotiating factor in their deal. The deal with Fox, CBS, NBC, Peacock, and FS1 is for 7 years from July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2030, and network sources told Action it's worth $7 and $8 billion at 1.2 per year. That is a lot of money. Now, I told you about that very particular word here. The contract includes an escalator clause, meaning the deal could be approached nearly $10 billion if Big Ten's membership increases, network sources said. Even after adding USC and UCLA, the Big Ten is not done expanding, sources told Action Sports Network. Now remember, last month, Action Sports Network reported the Big Ten would be beyond 16. It was targeting Notre Dame, along with Oregon, Washington, Stanford, and Cal for the Pac-12. Those plans have not changed, sources said this week. Regardless of whether Notre Dame joins the Big Ten or remains independent, the league still wants to add more Pac-12 schools, at least just Western schools, to help reduce potential travel concerns for USC and UCLA, sources said. So that is where things get a little dicey. So we all had anticipated that we were going to enter some sort of world where there was going to be a whole bunch of calm and cooler heads are going to prevail and everything's going to be all fine and dandy. Nope. I'm telling you right now, the fact that they have that escalator clause in there, you and I both know that right now the Pac-12 is in the process of renegotiating their deal too. Big Ten got done first, Pac-12 is up next, and then the Big 12 is up from there. So here's the deal, and this is the reason why the Big 12 is in a weird position of strength, because the SEC and Big Ten don't want to pillage them. So it sounds weird, but like they're not being pillaged, but it's actually strengthening the conference because it's a solid landing spot for a team to go, because they know those teams are going to be around. Whereas, I mean, right now the rumor is that SMU and San Diego State could join the Pac-12. But if you really think about that, let's just say you're San Diego State, you do that. I've talked to in my interview with Tony Althorn. It was an awesome interview. He had said, because of the dynamic between Cal State and UC, so Cal State versus UC, that whole rivalry situation, them both sitting at the table, so UC Berkeley and San Diego State sitting at the table together would be an absolute win for them, and it would actually be worth them leaving the Mountain West Conference and then having to scramble back to the Mountain West Conference or go to some other strategy. It would be a good idea for them. But it's a good idea for them. I didn't say it was a good idea for Washington or Oregon or Stanford or Cal. So what's going to happen in the future here is you're going to see in the next Pac-12 deal, they are going to have so many little stipulations, a little item here, a little item there, kind of like, oh yeah, well, by the way, in case we have to leave, here's our agreement, this and that. I'm telling you right now, that's going to happen. Now, keep in mind this, though. This is one interesting tidbit here. So Oregon is about to get an interim president. Their president left from Oregon, went to Northwestern. Now, a lot of people say, what does that matter? That doesn't matter at all. That does matter, because an interim president is not going to make a lot of how do I say it, like job-breaking moves, earth-shattering, I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Not going to make a lot of crazy moves out there. So the fact they're not going to rock the boat, they're going to vote right down the middle across everything. That being said, I know that Washington and Stanford and Cal, if they get the reports or they're talking to Big Ten sources and they say, hey, we want you in the league, whatever Oregon does, Washington, Stanford, and Cal are probably all going to be lockstep in with each other. That's why I anticipate the Pac-10 is going to be the 10 teams for right now. I guarantee you all expansion is going to have, for sure, 4 no's. The 4 no's are going to be Washington, Oregon, Stanford, and Cal. Absolutely not. We don't want to divvy up the pie. We want to keep it the way it is right now. But what we want to do is make sure, hey, in case we have to kind of sort of maybe leave, could you make it a little bit easier on us? You're going to see that going forward. And I'm telling you, so again, there's a lot of conversations we can have from here, where if that means that, is the Big 12 going to get those 4 corner schools like they were rumored to? First of all, is the ACC going to touch that grant of rights? Do we actually have confidence that's going to happen? Is 20 the new number? I mean, first of all, 20 teams is a lot. So if they go from 16 right now and they had 20, they had 4 more West Coast schools. I mean, how do you even work that do you have a conference semifinal for your championship, something like that? There's a lot of stipulations and lots of little logistics here and there you have to kind of work through. But I'm telling you right now, it looks like the number is 16. It's probably going to be 18, then maybe 20, then maybe 22, and maybe 24. And as soon as that ACC grant of rights is up, there is going to be a pillaging that's going to occur. And like I said, I think right now, Memphis, San Diego State, Boise State, my boys, okay, South Florida, SMU, they kind of have to wait and see where the chips fall. I do think they still probably do fit better in the Big 12, especially if the Big 12 expands to 16. Maybe not 16 because those 4 corner schools are right there, but maybe expands to 20, 24, something like that. That's where they fit into that. I'm going to make my own video about that later on. But again, that's where we're at right now. The Big Ten deal comes through. They have an escalator clause. They're already kind of hinting at the fact that they know they're going to expand a little bit more. And I guarantee you, when you see the Pac-12's deal, they're going to be like, well, can we have a easy out, maybe sort of, kind of, please? Sorry, please. Guarantee you that's going to happen. All right, guys, get in the comments right now. What do you guys think of this whole situation? What do you think the next move in conference realignment is? Get in the comments right now. Let me know. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that stuff. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys later. I am out.